Now, there are a lot of Captain Planet action figures that were released in the early 90s, and people like to ask me, well, Ben, which one's your favorite, or which one's the most collectible? So in this video, I'm going to break it down for the top 5 best of the best, the Holy Grails, the ones that are the most collectible out of the entire line and series here of Captain Planet. So come on in, we're going to sit down, talk about it, and see which ones that we think are the top 5 Holy Grails. Coming in at number 5, we're going to look at All-American Captain Planet, an US only release. He is the only one on this list that is going to be American only, which only adds to his rarity. It absolutely makes sense that an American-themed Captain Planet only released in the United States, and that's why he's more collectible, especially to our friends overseas in Europe. They did not receive this figure with his high camp costume, including red and white striped armor, blue undies and boots, and just giving us that classic Yankee Doodle dandy all about him. Now, I'm biased because I personally love the paint on this figure, and he is probably my favorite of the Captain Planets as far as paint schemes go. So I think that adds to his collectible factor. He also comes with a Captain Planet ring decked out in chrome. Now, this is the rarest one to find. If you find one of these loose on eBay, you've found something special because you're not going to find these. Just like the figure's hard to find, the ring is definitely hard to find, and it is a pretty one for just being plastic. Now, the card back features the same art by Neil Adams, great comic book artist, by the way. It's the same one as Flying Captain Planet, just recolored in this Americana color scheme. And on the back of the card, you get his character card, but you also get a look at the 3 American-only releases. Now, this includes the Arctic Captain Planet, as well as the Kwame and Mati 2-pack. The thing is the Arctic Captain Planet and the Kwame and Mati are more common to find, so they're not going to be as rare as the All-American, especially the Kwame and Mati. So for those reasons, All-American clocks in at number 5. Say the Star-Spangled Banner and get into it. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we're going to be looking at Mati with his pet monkey Sushi. He is a European-only release and one that a lot of American kids wanted because he comes with bonus accessories that we didn't get. But the real star of the show is going to be that 6th Planeteer that everyone wanted, and that is Sushi the monkey.
Right, Sushi?
Yes, we all want that 6th Planeteer. The rest of Mati isn't anything special because he was released a lot. He was in Wave 1 in America with a lot of 2-packs with Kwame. He comes with his heart ring that was also in that 2-pack, so that's very common to find. It still looks nice, but this isn't what's rare about Mati. This is what makes Mati rare. His separate little walking stick and his side medicine satchel. These are going to increase the value of the figure dramatically because the actual figure of Mati himself and his heart ring, very common to find, not at all difficult, not at all very collectible. But the real star of the show is this little brown molded plastic monkey, Sushi. Now, he doesn't really look like he does in the cartoon, but what's it matter? When you're playing with him, you get to experience the highs and lows of the Planeteers and the escapades that they get into. He's molded as just one piece, no articulation whatsoever, but you can clip him on a Mati's shoulder, and he's just hanging around doing his little monkey things. That is what makes Mati special. Now, Mati came out in several markets. My version here is the German version, but he also released in the UK, the Netherlands and France, as well as in Spain. So he did release several different European markets where you can try to find him, try to collect him. Here's his collector's card on the back with that Neil Adams art, once again, and Sushi on his shoulder. So if you're looking for him, the only places you're not going to find him are the US and the Italian markets, and that's why he clocks in at number 4. Moving into the number 3 spot on our list, we're looking at another fan favorite, and that is going to be Duke Nukem. Specifically, I mean Duke Nukem with nuclear rays, because there were 2 Duke Nukems produced. One was the Wave 1 glow-in-the-dark Duke Nukem. This is the Wave 3 battery-operated light-up version. Now, what makes this piece a sentimental favorite is that he looks like the show, except the color of his mohawk, but who's counting? He's got the Hawaiian shirt, The swim trunks, the bright yellow skin, he glows, he's radioactive. How can you say no to such a figure that brings back such good memories of the cartoon? So when you're a kid, you wanted to play with this one. You wanted this one in your collection for sure. And as an adult, even more so. All of those factors just increase his rarity and his collectability. Also, since he's Wave 3, they produce less than they did in Wave 1. So with the Duke Nukems and even the Matis in Wave 2, Wave 3 is going to have less figures on the market, even though he was released in one more European market, and that is in Italy under the G brand. Now, Duke Nukem comes with one accessory, and that is going to be this light-up nuclear fission rod. And it's transparent plastic with an opening here in the middle handle, so his light module in his hand can shine through it and make the rod seem to light up as well. Now, this piece is going to dramatically increase the collector value of a loose figure because it gets lost a lot and it's harder to find. Here you can see how it slides into his hand and over the light module that's located inside him, so it'll glow. The figure, again, looks great, cartoon accurate except his mohawk, bright, vibrant paint job. I just love this figure, and I think all other collectors do too. He has a battery compartment in the back. You have to provide your own batteries, and then a button that activates his light-up feature. But otherwise, just a really, really cool figure that rounds out any Captain Planet collection. Now, to hear his light and sound effect, here we go. Pretty cool, eh? And as far as looking pretty cool, he looks great in package. This is the UK version. He's got his nuclear fission rod. He looks great sealed in there. Really would pop on the shelf, man. I cannot say enough good things about this figure. He's got his own collector card, which actually says he was a scientist mutated by his own rays. Now, that's not canon in the show, so that's the only time you're going to see that one spelled out. Gives you instructions on how he works, but that's the figure, clocked in at number 3. Sliding up to number 2, Shock Boot, probably the most coveted figure of all the Captain Planet figures, and that is Captain Pollution. Now, Captain Pollution only appeared in 4 episodes of the cartoon. 4 episodes! Yet he remains as Captain Planet's arch nemesis. He is quoted as his, ultimate rival, even though out of the rogues gallery, including Zarm, who never got a figure, Captain Pollution is going to be the one everyone talks about. Personal story, I even met producer Larry Houston at C2E2 2025, and he asked me about Captain Pollution action figure if I had one, if they ever made one, when I was showing him my collection. He's just that memorable, and he's something that every kid would have wanted, every collector wants. And his rarity is because he only came out in very select markets. Very, very select and in very low numbers. 3 markets are what we know he came out in, including the US and as well as France/Netherlands. The main one, though, that you can find recently, and the one that I have, is going to be the Italian market under the GRAILS license. Now, the Italian market didn't come out with all figures and all vehicles. They kind of did their own thing. And you can see in this advert here, they had Capitan Flagello, Captain Pollution, along with Dick Disastro. Last entries, Duke Nukem. Those came out in this market, and they're ones that you can find. And that's why you're going to see him come out in this Italian market, because he never appears on card backs for the other markets. He never appears on the English card back. He doesn't appear on that French and Dutch card back. So he just has this super limited release. And it's a bummer because he's got such a cool sculpt, including this scowl on his face with his arched eyebrows, his cracked earth emblem on his chest, and then his pollution sores sculpted all over his body. Now, he's got a purple color palette, which isn't cartoon accurate. Maybe that was his promotional look. On the back is a little plug for his feature where you would dip in some ooze, take this plug, shove it in, and then the pollution sore would ooze out of his body, just radiating evil, toxic energy. But he's just such a cool figure and so hard to find complete. His only accessory is going to be his little slime bucket, and it's marked on top with Captain Pollution Slime. And in here is where you would store the gel that came with him. Now, the gel is really, really hard to find. I don't have it. It's going to be a bright blue color, and you can see here in this image what it actually looks like. It's a bright blue goo, and it actually came in little eye-shaped canisters. They're located inside the bucket, inside the sealed figure, and that's where it's hidden. So it's really hard to get an image of them. I don't have one to share with you guys, but they originally came inside the bucket, and then you kept the slime inside the bucket, and then that's what you use to push through Captain Pollution over and over. Now, finding a Captain Pollution even loose that, one, has good paint still on him, two, has the slime plug in the back of him, and three, comes with this little bucket is going to be rare to find indeed. So good luck in your hunt. Now here is my bad boy carded. He's got an evil scowl. He is colored on the card back, cartoon accurate, unlike the figure. But you'll notice here with the G brand in Italy, they actually got to change the logo to Capitan Planet. Even the Spanish versions don't do that. Just this Italian version, where he's Capitan Flagello, they actually renamed him as well. On the back, you can see his collector card with a lot of text there. His evil nuclear power coming out of him. And then on the back, it shows you how that action feature worked that I described. You put the goo in him, shove it out through his body, and then you can rinse him clean with some water and reuse that goo. How many times you could reuse it, I couldn't say. I've never done it. I doubt I ever will in my lifetime because I'm not planning on opening this guy anytime soon. And number one, everyone should know this one. It's going to be Captain Planet with Meteor. The rarest, the creme de la creme. Why? Released in one market, Germany. Only there, Wave 4, last wave. You're not going to find him anywhere else. He is so hard to find, and even though he's not as popular as Captain Pollution, probably not as coveted by general fandom, he is going to be the rarest for any collector to get. And he's colored gold because he knows he's number one. Top of the line, creme de la creme, the best of the best. This is the figure everyone will want if you're collecting Captain Planet. Now, he does have an action feature. You press a button on his back, and his arms are going to swing down, and that's how he's going to throw his Meteor accessory at the villains, and it's got a cool light-up sound effect. Here is the Meteor in all its glory. Gray molded plastic with red translucent elements where the light shines through. It has a battery compartment on the bottom, as well as little holes for the speaker, and then there are holes for his hands to rest in so he can throw it. It's a nice little piece of tech, and it only activates if you drop it or you throw it, so it won't activate any other way. Here it is in action. It's the same sound effect as Duke Nukem, but have you ever seen anything more beautiful in your life? Alright, probably, but I'm going to show it to you one more time just so you get into it. You put it over his head like so, and then you get ready and throw it. That was my dog in the background there because he hates my toys. He's always checking me when I try to play with them. Anyway, here's the card back to the Captain Planet with Meteor, holding it over his head. Even I don't have this guy sealed on cards, so if you've got one out there and want to help me out, drop a comment. I would love you forever. Here's his collector card, and also the back of the card shows you all the really cool Wave 3 and Wave 4 stuff, including the ultra rare Crystal Matrix, the Eco Jailer, the Garbage Cannon Truck, the exploding garbage cans, and of course, the star of the show himself, Captain Planet with Meteor. All of that put on here. He's going to be number one because of his absolute and total rarity. And that is going to round out our top 5 with number 1, Captain Planet with Meteor. I hope that this video brought you some insight into this line. I hope you enjoyed it. If you disagree with any of my picks, leave a comment, let me know. I think this top 5 is accurate to what are the most collectible Grail items in the line, but always happy to have a conversation because Captain Planet is so fun to talk about. Anyway, if you like this video, check out some of my other ones. I will be making some more content in the future. I've got a couple other figures I still need to do, and then we'll get into some of the play sets soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.